Okay? Okay, today my voice is a little bit lower. Please don't interrupt. So the recording will be heard by people. I'll try my best. Okay, so we spoke in the morning before, if you remember.
Знаете, вот это ваше кресло принесите сюда, пожалуйста.
If a person wants to pour from a kafgir,
Yes.
is he allowed to pour from a kafgir or no?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
We said it's allowed.
Ну вот это синее кресло сюда принесите, пожалуйста.
Why is it allowed, Meir John? Why we allowed it? Huh? שהכל יהיה. And we said before, why is it allowed to pour from a kafgir, from a ladle, matzeket? Why we said it's allowed? Because we have a double doubt. Maybe, ברשות מוריי ורבותיי,
שמיים.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהכל נהיה בדברו. And we said in the morning, why is this allowed, Bechor? Because we have double doubt. If you remember, we have the opinion of the Taz.
Что так тихо разговаривать?
The Taz said that taking kafgir, matzeket, ladle, inside the pot makes the matzeket also kli rishon. Pot is kli rishon. Matzeket is also kli rishon. Remember that?
Yeah.
The Taz said. He brings a proof from the words of the Gemara. The Gemara says that Rebbe told to his student, don't put the oil inside the tub. Now what should you do? Take it in a second vessel. Tol bekli sheni veten.
Ровно через час.
He didn't say the word ten bekli. He should have tell him, take a kli, don't put the oil inside the tub. Rather, take a kli and put it in the kli. But the Gemara doesn't say that. The Gemara says, tol bekli sheni veten. Put it in a kli sheni, then put the oil inside. Take the water in kli sheni. Means to say, tab is kli rishon. Whatever you're going to place in the tab to take out the water, it's kli rishon. What you're going to pour into an empty cup, this is kli sheni. That's how the Taz understood. But the kli itself that you put in the tab is kli rishon, yeah? So that cup is also kli rishon. Based on this, if I have right now soup, and the bottom of the soup I put petrozilia, petrushka, yes, parsley, and I want to pour from with the kafgir, with the matzeket, I want to pour directly on this. The pot is hot, the kafgir is hot. Pouring directly from this is considered to be as pouring from a kli rishon, says the Taz. Therefore, you're not allowed to. Remember? Comes Rabbi Avad Yosef says, I'm sorry, you're allowed to. How can Rabbi Avad Yosef argue like this? He says, when Chazal said, Tol bekli sheni and 10, it doesn't mean to pour from this to another one. It means take it out and put over there. Not put it in the second one. This one is kli sheni. That's one reason to be lenient. Another reason is pouring, even if you say Taz, that this is kli rishon. Kli rishon, cooking. Pouring, irui kli rishon, is cooking? No? Sorry, very good, I'm sorry. You're right, Meir. The answer is machloket. Since it's machloket, what do we have right now? Safek sefeka. Maybe the ladle, the matzeket, the kafgir is kli sheni, like the Taz, like Avad Yosef brings the opinion of the Ran and others. And even if you're going to say, no, this is kli rishon, maybe pouring from kli rishon doesn't cook. So therefore we have a double doubt to be lenient, calling The matzeket, the kafgir,
ראשון.
no, kli sheni.
lenient.
Right. We have doubled out to call it as kli sheni. And therefore we'll be allowed to pour from it to directly on leaves or something like that inside the kosa, inside the bowl. Bechor Famidim. Very good. Now, question to you, Bechor. Rabbi Yosef says, because we have this doubled out, you're allowed to do it to begin with, lechatchila. Yeah? Question to you. What's more strong? Doubled out in reality or doubled out in rabbis arguing? Machloket poskim.
rabbis.
Very good. Tell us why, Meir. Say good answer. Why? We said it, if you remember. We said because the doubt
It's
in
the
reality.
vibe, the doubt is everywhere, upstairs and downstairs.
Kol hakavod. The doubt in reality is only a doubt here. We don't know the reality. What happened? But upstairs, they know the reality. So the doubt is weaker doubt. That's when you have a double doubt in reality, we don't go so lechatchila lenient. But here, we have the status of the kafgir matzeket ladle. What's the status? Double doubt in rabbis arguing. Is this kli rishon or is this kli sheni? And even you're going to say this is kli rishon, maybe pouring from kli rishon does not cook. Since we have this double doubt, we're allowed to be lenient lechatchila, because the doubt is in rabbis arguing. Famidim bechol. Very good. Now, what about davar gush? Davar gush. Bechor? Yaakov Mebior.
Oh,
If you have meat that you took out from the soup and you want to add salt, not cooked salt, Himalayan, how do you call the salt? Comes from the mountains, mountain salt.
Yeah, that's one.
red salt.
Yeah, pink salt.
Pink.
Okay.
This is not cooked. Can you put it inside the osvo, inside the food on the plata? We say no.
No.
Why? Because on the plata,
You're cooking.
it's kli rishon, you're cooking. You break Shabbat. If I took out from their potatoes, I took from their eggs, I took from their meat,
Mutar.
and I put it on my plate,
Mutar.
it's very hot.
Mutar.
Can I slice it and put the salt right away,
Yes.
or I have to wait?
Yes.
How do we say it?
Yes.
Very good. Do the stringencies apply to davar gush in the laws of Shabbat also extend to the laws of meat and milk? Davar gush? Question. If I have meat that that was outside from the pot, hot meat, and cold milk touched it, is the meat kosher or no?
You have to slide it out. Slice it. That's it.
According to halacha, bechor, you don't have to do nothing. Just wash it.
Just wash it.
How could it be? It's hot, palakas. Why we said it's okay? Just wash it off.
Because it's not cooking.
Very good. Because it's sitting in a kli sheni. So, Rabbi, but it's very hot. It's not like liquid. Liquid, when you put in kli sheni, it spreads liquid. So it gets cold very fast. You know, whenever you eat soup, if you pay attention, when the soup getting cold, the liquid, the meat, the potato is still hot. How could it be? Because the gush retains the heat for a longer time. But nevertheless, as Avad Yosef, we don't hold that it's cooking. It retains the heat longer, but it doesn't cook. Therefore, kli sheni, something you put in a tarilka, lo mevashel. The poskim did not differentiate if it is davar gush or if it is davar, something that it is solid, liquidy. In both cases, solid or liquidy, kli sheni does not cook.
Так что завтра celebration или что?
Да.
Точно?
That's the plan. Tomorrow we have celebration, yeah. It's going to be like Ba'omer party.
Last night.
Huh? That's what Haggai told me today. John, читай. Number 4. I'll help you. Marshal.
What is the Marshal's opinion on whether a davar gush, a solid hot item, cooks or absorbs and emits?
Yeah.
Question.
So if you remember, Jesse, we said that davar gush, where we get Ashkenazim, don't allow sliced egg that is hot and pour on top of it tomatoes, resek agvaniot, tomato, crushed tomato. Crushed tomato. They don't allow. Why? Crushed tomato is not cooked. This egg is hot. You're putting the not cooked tomato on this. It gets cooked right away. According to Ashkenazim. Where the Ashkenazim got it from? They got it from this opinion, the Marshal. Marshal says, Gemara said that Kli Sheni doesn't cook. But Kli Sheni, the Gemara, what was the case the Gemara said Kli Sheni doesn't cook? What was this discussion with Rebbe and his student? About what? About water, taking out the tub, and putting oil bottle inside that. Water is liquidy, oil is liquidy. Yeah. So those things, Kli Sheni lo mevashel. But egg is liquidy?
No.
No. So therefore, egg, they say Ashkenazim, is going to cook. That's why they don't allow. Even in Kli Sheni, you put it. It's not in the pot. I put it here on the plate. Kli Sheni lo mevashel, liquid things. But if it is solid things like hot egg, hot potato, hot this, asur, Ashkenazim say. But we don't pass like Ashkenazim. Why would we pass like Ashkenazim? Because we have a rule. When the Gemara said a statement without differentiating the details, they said Kli Sheni lo mevashel. The example was liquid, but it doesn't have to be only liquid. Got it? I was by the Marshal's kever. Yeah, he is a relative of Arizal, you know that. Marshal Rabbi Shlomo Luria. No, Poland. The old cemetery of Krakow. Over there. Krakow was it? Yeah. Lublin.
Lublin. Yeah. Wow.
Big tzaddikim buried there.
Oh.
The Chozim in Lublin buried there. Marshal buried there.
Oh.
A lot of tzaddikim. And back in the day, they used to make the letters on the grave mail protruding.
Inside.
And then that's the old cemetery, like hundreds of years, 400 or 500 years old cemetery.
Koshecha, no?
Yeah, but that's when in Koshecha only whenever protruding. I told you what I did. I wanted to know who's buried here, different places there. So I took my phone, I pictured it, I read from my phone. I didn't see the grave, I saw it on my phone picture. Otherwise I could not see, or did the tzaddikim buried there. He's taller than you, that's it, Habibi, Pasti. Li'ayin hara. You said this boy, I remember him under the table, I guess. Eitan, you remember that or no?
Carry number 4.
Yeah.
The Marshal regarded davar gush, a solid hot item, as having a status of kli rishon, primary vessel. However, some interpret that the Marshals did not equate davar gush to a kli rishon in terms of a halachic cooking capacity, but rather concerning its ability to absorb and emit flavors from vessels.
You hear? The Marshal says, Jesse, Kli Sheni lo mevashel, but it's exchanging tastes. Therefore, if you have hot meat and a plate, drop of cold milk fell on top of it, they will exchange taste. This piece of meat will not be allowed. The Marshal says, but it's Kli Sheni, Rabbi. Kli sheni does not cook, but it does allow exchanging the taste because it's so hot. If the item is solid item, it's called davar gush. Davar in Hebrew matter. Gush is a solid. If you don't have 60 times, if you don't have, you drop 1 ounce of milk on 5 ounces of meat. Huh? Yeah, but do I have a problem even if it's on a plate? It's not in a pot. It's on kli sheni. I still have a problem? So says Alvaria because says the Marshal, sorry, because it doesn't cook, but it will exchange tastes. The milk is gonna go into the meat is gonna taste is gonna go to the milk. All this because the meat is hot. Understand?
There's no
Here, there is, but if the ratios are 1 to 5.
okay, the ratio is not okay.
Yeah, if the ratio would be 1 to 60, it's liquid, yeah. It's running around. Okay? Continue.
Which one?
Number 5. No. So even the Maharshal, pay attention, it's very important. Ravadia Yosef over here is knocking down the Maharshal stringency completely. He says that people don't have to worry about this hot potato, hot eggs, hot meat, all these things. He said, don't worry about it. You're allowed to put directly the tomato sauce on it. With the salt, with your pepper, whatever, even though things are not cooked. You know, black pepper not always cooked. I don't even know if it is cooked. Black pepper is cooked. Ask your GPT to find out. Black pepper is cooked.
I can use raw, I can use crushed.
Abechor? Black pepper gets cooked before you put it in your food.
Черный перец.
Чувствовал?
Он вареный черный перец.
Not just a lot.
Украшен и
Black,
вареный.
он вареный.
Is black pepper cooked? Black pepper itself is not typically cooked before use. It's usually dried. Here's the breakdown. Black pepper is made by harvesting unripe pepper berries from piper, then cooking them briefly in the hot water to clean and prepare them for drying. After its quick heat
So a little bit.
treatment, yeah, they are sun dried for several days. This process darkens the out skin and characteristics. So while the pepper isn't cooked in the traditional sense, like roasted or baked, it does undergo a brief heating step as part of processing.
So let's say it's not cooked. Let's say it says, hey, it's not cooked. Can I put it on top of a hot egg?
Yes.
Why? Because hot egg. It's on a
raw.
cast.
It's raw, Rabbi.
Это же не там в супе на огне, а это уже вытащили.
I need you to say terminologies. Because
Клешини.
very good. Now you give it.
I got.
Now he's a king, Bechor. Later on he's going
That's
to
it.
become Rebbe.
King is not important. Rabbi.
Oh,
Rabbi. The question now first.
yeah.
Practically, what is the law regarding a solid piece? Does it cook or absorb
Yeah, the good salad.
and
is-
emit? Question. Davar gush, a solid hot item. What it does.
Yeah,
So we're gonna see right now.
very good. Great. There is.
There is a suffix of double doubt for leniency. Perhaps the law of davar gush, a solid hot item, is like a secondary vessel, klesheni, and if you want to say like a hamarashal, perhaps it's only regarding absorption and emission.
But not as far as cooking.
Not as far as cooking.
Yeah, you got it?
It's only a kaleh bishul, right?
No, yeah, Kaleh Bishul. But if Davar Gush, even Kaleh Bishul will not be a problem.
Yeah. So it's only the surface. It's okay, no problem. But you're not allowed to crush peppers like with the crusher, right?
Right, crushing a soup.
And Yom Tov, what about?
Yom Tov allowed.
What?
You don't do allowed to crush.
But not with electrical one.
No.
No, the hand one.
My daughter this morning made a breakfast for the family. And she takes salt. Takoyesh now. My wife bought some electrical crusher. You saw this one?
Yeah.
You press.
Yes. Yes.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
They said don't use it on Shabbat.
Right.
Electrical crushers, yes. Before they used to go like this. Now electrical, but
A bottle of wine, a bottle for wine, like the same thing.
yeah.
Yeah, Russian,
No, but it's a problem to use it on Shabbat.
of course, it's electric.
When do you drink wine? Only on Shabbat. So,
Or in a shul, or in
oh, yeah, sure. but does not have the power of cooking. Very good. So bottom line, Bechor, even Ashkenazim, says Avadi, they're allowed to be lenient. Why? Because Maharshal didn't say Davar Gush cooks. He says Davar Gush has the power of Kli Rishon. Power of Kli Rishon regarding what? Regarding cooking
No say.
or regarding exchanging tastes?
Exchanging taste, Marashal says.
So this is not clear. So Rav Yosef says maybe we don't worry about Marshal altogether. Allah is not like him. And even going to say, Marshal, you want to worry about it? Maybe even he didn't say it's cooks. He said it's exchanging tastes. In the laws of Shabbat, we don't care about exchange of tastes. We care about cooks or no cooks. If he doesn't cook, so tamam. You understood?
Olam Kuliston.
Olam to listen. So bottom line, Bechor, Sfaradim, Ashkenazim, allowed to put salt, pepper directly on hot egg?
Yes.
Yes. Why am I telling you this? Because there is Halachot Shabbat that some rabbis wrote that they said to the people it's not allowed to. They don't say machmir, they say not allowed to. Rabbi Yosef says 100% allowed. Whenever I publicize the third volume, somebody said, Rabbi, do it. A few people asked, Rabbi, do it in Russian. I said, I need somebody to volunteer for this. I don't mind. I don't read Russian. If somebody would volunteer for the Russian one, I'll do it in Russian. For all the Bukharian people to have it in Russian also. It's a very important one.
So there's yachni on the table. You're allowed to put salt on the yachni.
Yeah, but you have to eat it immediately because of the other problem of processing. Remember?
Process.
The salting problem. Kavush, pickling.
But a little salt, you're all right.
You
A
have
little
to eat
salt
it
for
immediately.
taste.
Put it, eat. Don't let it sit for a long time.
How long?
For this meal.
30 minutes?
For this meal. נכון, джогаште.
Я здесь.
Моя так хресло пурсиде, дару хобере чува.
Привычно вы говорите, поэтому
Я чего не
Мы
знаю.
чуть-чуть поближе идем.
Like base.
я нормально.
Base.
О, как разговариваю, сейчас вы так тихо, спокойно.
The both speakers.
It's sometimes good, you know? Gemara says, why a lady has nida? Lady, why she's bleeding? Nida. Says if the husband always will have his wife, he's not gonna appreciate her. Sometimes to be different is good also. It's gonna make us appreciate the good days. When I'll come back with my voice like I came out of the mikveh.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go next.
Which one is it, Rob?
Number 1.
What is the temperature of Yatzaleret bowl?
Ask Igor. Let's see what he tells us. Ask Jesse. Jesse maybe knows.
Jesse, what is the temperature of Yatzaleret bowl?
Chinook. You put like a baby.
What number it is?
120.
Remember we spoke about this.
120
30,
Fahrenheit.
32.
Что там?
The temperature of Yatzaleret bowl is anything that is so hot that an average person will refrain from eating or drinking it without needing to blow on it to cool it down.
Yeah?
But it's a little bit tricky.
Yeah? I agree.
Because whatever I cannot take, I can, for example, I drink
A-
tea
aver-
immediately.
Average person.
Average.
Average person.
Most people will not be able to take from the samovar directly and drink it.
That's what I'm saying.
We're not talking about Bechor, you know, talking about other people.
Mejor, with more.
Bechor? What happened to you, Bechor?
Ну, я просто прилег.
Песах уже прошел.
Синагога спать нельзя, Кабухор.
Я не сплю, я прилег.
Даже вы похожи на Якова Вину с этой бородой.
Он сейчас Малахим будет сидеть.
На лестнице поднимается, спускается.
So, yeah, number 2.
Number 2. What is the temperature of
Shekretzo.
שקריסו של תינוק נכווה. The baby's stomach is scalded. What does that mean?
The baby's skin stomach.
What is the temperature of שקריסו של תינוק נכווה? The baby's skin stomach
It's scalded.
is scalded.
What temperature is that? Says
The same
already.
temperature mentioned in the first answer applies to the temperature described as
Shekretzo.
שקריסו של תינוק נכווה, the baby's stomach being scalded.
Baby's
Same thing,
skin. Huh? So it's the same. It's the same number.
The same answer.
Yeah. The baby's stomach skin or skin stomach?
Baby's stomach.
No, it's the skin of the stomach.
Oh, that baby's skin stomach.
How do you say, Igor? The baby's skin stomach being scalded?
Yeah.
Or the baby's skin off the stomach? Off the? Okay.
Right. Baby skin on the stomach.
On the stomach.
Baby skin on the stomach.
On the stomach. Okay.
Okay. Next. Проснулись.
Уже
What?
все прошли.
What is the temperature according to Rabbi Shlomo Zalman of Yad Saletet Bo? Rabbi Shlomo Zalman wrote that the temperature of Yad Saletet Bo is 45 degrees Celsius. Some say 40, but this is not definitely established. It is best to act stringently in this manner, since it is a Torah manner.
What is 45 Celsius in a Fahrenheit?
90 degrees to 100 degrees.
No, much more.
What's 45 Celsius to Fahrenheit?
כפול 2 חלקי.
113 degrees Fahrenheit.
כפול 2 חלקי.
That's one of the reasons Avad Yosef allowed. That's one of the reasons Avad Yosef allowed the boiler, the hot boiler. Can you use a hot boiler on Shabbat?
Yeah.
Huh? With tank or without tank?
With the tank.
With a tank. One of the reasons Avad Yosef allowed is because the temperature. How hot do you need the temperature to go in your skin? Ask what most people shower temperature is. Hot shower.
40%. But 90.
What's the
90.
most people shower
Hot shower.
hot shower temperature?
Все нормально, что ты скажешь?
From 90 to 110.
Ничего не сказал. 120.
120 people shower it? What are you talking about?
No.
120, you're gonna go to hospital.
What's the question? What was the question, Rabbi?
What's the temperature of the hot shower of most people?
What's the temperature of
The hot shower?
The hot shower of most people. 112 Fahrenheit.
112.
The same thing. Look at that. A 1 Celsius, 1 Fahrenheit less. Wow.
So therefore,
Nice.
that's one of the reasons Avad Yosef says, turning on the hot shower on Shabbat, not hot shower, hot water. It's not as people think it's a problem. There is whom to rely on. Better to be strict,
Right.
but whenever you have a need, you could be lenient. That's one of the reasons. There's some other reasons, if you remember, we spoke about this. Yeah?
Is it permissible to place a pastry?
Fahrenheit Celsius 40 to Fahrenheit is never.
40, yeah, but 45 is 1/12.
You say 40, no?
Yeah.
45 would be 113.
Yeah. Very good. Next.
Is it permissible to place pastry containing fat on a hot plate on Shabbat, or there is a concern of cooking, let's say
Gosh gija.
gosh gija. I always put it, allowed.
Because can you put gosh gija on the plata on Shabbat?
1 hour before, make sure you put it. It's like it came from the oven. Nice and crispy on the bottom.
Okay.
Enjoy. Likot Shabbat Kodesh, don't forget to say.
Yeah. Begufto Shabbat. Go ahead.
Where is it? It is permissible to place a pastry containing fat on a hot plate on Shabbat, even if it reaches temperature that the fat melts, since when it was placed on the hot plate, it was dry. This is not like a levush, not that like levush, levush.
Maybe the word dry is wrong word here. Maybe the word salad will be better.
Solid, yeah. This is not like the levush who prohibited placing it in a where it is yatzeret bowl, a temperature that switches the hand withdraws due to the heat. Allowed. Значит, самса можно поставить.
Even though the fat melts and becomes liquidy.
Yeah, becomes more juicier
Yeah.
because the fat melts. That's what gives taste.
You know that this, the taste is in the fat.
And the fat, yeah. That's why when you do barbecue, if you put the fat in between, it gives you more juice over there.
Fat melts and becomes liquidy or becomes liquid.
Liquid.
How do you say in English? The fat melts and becomes liquid or liquidy?
Liquidy. Right, the fat melts and becomes liquidy.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
So let's say you will have pastries. You need to warm them up. On Shabbat, can you warm them up if the solid thing turned into liquid inside?
No problem.
How about Yosef allowed? Should one be concerned about creating a new entity, nolad? About the isur of. Interesting, huh? Isur and issue are similar words. Issue, isur. I wrote isur, he corrected into issue. That's, you know, that all the languages in the world came from Hebrew.
Hebrew, right. Yeah, the blueprint of all languages is Hebrew.
So there's many words that they are similar in Latin and in Hebrew.
Yeah.
Issue, isur.
Yeah, especially Bukhari.
Yeah.
Which one?
That's by the way why it's called Lashon HaKodesh.
Mm-hmm.
You know that? Because there's a meaning behind the words.
Yes, true.
Okay, continue. Jesse Fata.
We do not rule according to the Sefer HaTerumah, who prohibited it due to the concern of creating a new entity, nolad.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is what?
Is what melts afterwards considered indirect coercion, gerama.
Yeah.
So what melts afterwards is considered indirect coercion, grama, and although in general the principle of grama, indirect coercion, does not apply to a prohibition of cooking bishul, since all cooking inherently occurs through grama, as a person does not physically cook, but rather the heat of the fire does. Nevertheless, since one becomes biblically liable for the act of cooking only when placing the food, and at that moment there is no prohibition. Prohibition. Oh, sorry. As it was solidified and already fully cooked, and the concept of cooking after cooking does not apply in such a case anymore, especially when combined with the opinion that there is no cooking after cooking, even with liquids.
Here, today one rabbi called me, was arguing with me, why you tell people that grama is allowed on Shabbat.
Mm-hmm.
We only allow grama to extend existing situation. We don't allow grama to change a current situation. For example, the light is off right now, right? And I want to turn it on earlier. Can I go to the timer, manual timer, and play with it with the teeth of it?
Yeah.
Allowed or no? Again, you're reading your Torah when your eyes are closed.
Он сейчас ангела видит. Не мешайте ему.
Tired.
I know. Yesterday you drove all the way there. You have to say Agomel. You know, all your 10 guys have to say Agomel.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now?
No, you don't have 10 people.
Now we have 9.
You need to have 10 people. You can say tomorrow.
No, now.
Tomorrow Sefer Torah. You can say. Next to Sefer Torah.
Завтра же будет это. Сефар Тора, да.
Torah, Rabachor.
You can say at night also. So listen, Bechor, what happened. I told him, listen, if I want the light to be on earlier, can I do that or no?
Only where?
In my home. The light is off. I wanted to turn it on earlier. Supposed to turn it at 8, I want to turn it at 7.
No problem.
Can I do that on Shabbat?
In Shabbat.
On Shabbat, I want to play with the timer.
No.
So I have news for you, Bechor.
You can play, but you can't plug.
Why are you allowed to?
Plug.
But right now it's off. Why are you allowed to make it turn on earlier?
Because it's off.
So you're changing the status. Do we allow grandma even to change the status? So this rabbi said no. I told him you're allowed to. I'll bring you proof. I said, where is the source? The Gemara said you're allowed to grandma. What the case the Gemara presented? Who remembers?
Water.
With the water around the fire. The fire is on, and you are putting water around it
And by
to
itself.
cause it to turn off.
Right.
So there is an existing situation that your grandma's story is going to change the status. So yeah. Then I said another case the Gemara brought about the coin that has Hashem's name here. Yud Ke Vav Ke.
Right.
Right? And he wants to go to the mikveh. Right?
Right. You put some people.
So over there, the Yud Ke Vav Ke is going to get erased slowly, we said by delay, grandma.
The grandma.
But it's written, and then it's going to change the status to become erased. So you see that grandma is not only allowing you stuff that they are existing situation, to prolong existing situation. Grandma allows even to change the situation.
Right.
Here we see another one. Rabbi Yosef says you're allowed to put the goshgija with the fat in it on top of the plata. The meat is going to melt. The fat is going to melt. So you end up cooking liquid. Cooking after cooking liquid, it's a problem. Says Ravadi, it doesn't happen right away. It happens grama. What do you mean grama? But this is changing the status. It was solid. Your grama story is going to make it liquid.
Shachmat.
What do we see? That grama is not a leniency only to extend existing situation. It's a leniency even to change situation. And why is it? Because delay. The Torah says, Lo ta'aseh kol melacha. Ta'aseh, don't do melacha on Shabbat. From here we learn, don't do. But creating, it's not a problem. But causing it is not a problem.
Right.
Shalom, you understand or no?
You also know it's
Коэн.
Коэн HaKadosh.
Еще один нужен. Один убежал с этим.
Кто убежал?
Кази.
Ляо и Нави.
Oh,
Чухнул.
oh.
Which one to read?
So here is another proof, Meir. That grandma is not only to keep the status quo, grandma is also allowed to change the status. Because you're causing it, you're not doing it directly.
So I will be allowed to change the manual
Timer.
timer into early time.
Right. Because let's say your child asked you to put alarm clock to wake up for Netz Minyan, and you forgot. Can you say, listen, when there is light, he doesn't sleep, he wakes up. Can you go to the timer that he has in the bedroom that's supposed to turn on it, who knows when? You're gonna make it turn on at 6 o'clock in the morning by pressing the buttons, or not buttons, but changing the teeth. Those
Manual timer.
How do you say
Manual
manual
timer.
manual? How do you call these things?
Pins.
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 Changing the pins. and making it turn on at 6 a.m. in the morning, so it's going to be light, it's going to wake up. Can you do that or no?
Yes.
Huh?
No.
According to your Torah. According to our Torah, it's allowed.
Nothing fixing, nothing digging.
He's not fixing.
Yeah.
He's causing the light to be turned on.
But only extending it, you're allowed for the
Here, Mr. Ignatius.
Yeah, well, that's how it was the beginning, standing on the lot. This is something new.
You know the joke, no? Bechor? This guy comes to the how do you call it, the bar to drink alcohol. He tells the guy, listen, you know the joke or no? Tells the guy, listen, pour, something's gonna happen, start soon, don't start. No, pour. Начнется, сейчас начнется, давай, pour alcohol, okay, pours the alcohol. Drinks, Baruch Hashem, After 5 minutes, he comes and says, listen, it's starting again, it's gonna start soon again, pour, quick, pours. Сейчас начнется, comes third time, says, hello, when are you going to pay for all this? Oh, началось.
Кто будет платить, да? Началось.
He's alcohol all the time for him. Alcoholist, how do you call this guy?
Да, алкоголик.
Alcoholic. The Balabai doesn't want him to drink free. So he always, сейчас начнется. Вот началось. So Shalom, before you came, we explained that people think that's only existing situation you're allowed to extend.
other way if you have need.
The other way around, by letter of the law, is also allowed. Grama is allowed. And we brought few examples that is only allowed to existing situation, even to change the situation. As Gemara gave example is of the fire. The fire is on, and you're putting a buckets around to turn it off. So you have existing situation, you're changing the situation.
That's in a case of like of danger.
Well, that's how Rabbeinu Yoel holds. Ashkenazim paskin like that. But Maran says not like that. Maran says grama mutar.
השתבח שמך נתן לנו רבנו.
La 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 la. השתבח שמך נתן לנו רבנו. Okay, very good. Yeah, let's go. Wait a few more minutes. Maybe let's go.
Which one, Rabbi?
Number 1.
Is it permissible to place water or uncooked or other uncooked liquids near a fire where there will reach Yatzel at bowl, a temperature at which the hand withdraws due to the heat?
What do we say?
The answer is
What do you say? Igor, what's the answer? Shalom, what do you say?
I didn't get the question.
yeah, yes.
Can you place water or other uncooked liquids next to the fire or on a plata that is going to become yatzoledet bo, and become scalding hot?
Next to the plata?
On the plata. Uncooked.
No,
I think yes. Because it's not a direct fire.
uncooked,
So,
and your intention is to
but
leave
this is not the regular way of cooking.
No, Mir John, let's see.
No. It is permissible to place water. It is permissible to place water or other uncooked items, liquids near the fire where they will not reach Yatzel bowl. Not reach, написали.
נכון?
Правильно?
No,
Правильно?
очень правильно.
A temperature at which one's hands withdraws due to the heat, as placing them close to the fire possesses a risk that may be forgotten and consequently cooked.
Remember, we spoke about this?
А даже если человек он
Because you're gonna
забудет,
forget.
какой иссур он сделал? Это же не
Cooking.
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 Why not?
Как? Это же не direct fire. It's like,
Uncooked.
Uncooked. Yes,
Kicheni,
you cook.
No. Not only fire
it's
cooked.
like cooking
Also
on
next to the
the
fire cooks.
Да?
No, it's clear ראשון. Got it or no? Let's go. Number
Which
2.
one? What is the law if the food was already cooked and now he stands next to the plata, hot plate, to ensure it does not reach temperature of Yatzel Red Bo?
Ask Michal.
Ага, Бахор.
А,
А уж полов готово уже. Вы хотите его возле платы поставить, чтобы согреть его еще раз?
no problem, מותר.
או שפולו עונה.
אה.
שפולו, עוד חידוש.
Liquid.
Liquid.
Soup.
No problem.
What? No problem. You can put it on the platter.
No, next to the platter, you see.
On the platter. Can you put
On
it
the
on
platter.
On the platter, the fire is closed.
platter? Very close. Turn it off.
Open. Fire is closed.
Platter. It's always closed.
Okay.
Can you put cold soup on the platter on Shabbat?
Not soup. Water, yes.
Soup.
Soup, no. Because soup is going to be better.
Very good. But what if you're going to watch that is not going to become
You
better?
watch, no problem.
How hot it's allowed to get?
So should the Wilson.
So, to the point you can drink it without cooling it off.
Yeah.
Before that.
Yeah.
Once you reach that point, so
Yeah. Some because it was cooked before.
у меня стиль его.
Все живой?
Okay. Number 3.
Did the Bet Yosef prohibit it if one stands next to the plata, hot plate, to ensure it does not reach the Yatzilet bowl?
Remember this Bet Yosef? We spoke about this.
Yeah.
That the
Although the
Bet
Bet Yosef
Yosef restricted it.
seems to prohibit it in every case, even with the previously cooked food, it can be argued that he is discussing a scenario where one leaves and plans to remember to come back and remove it. But that was the Ramal's opinion, no?
No. Bet Yosef restricted it. So why we allowed it? Remember? Because we said that Bet Yosef spoke that you're going to leave from there. You left it and you left. You left it on the plata and you left. That's the Bet Yosef was afraid of. Because when a person is next to it, he'll remember. When a person is removed, they say, I'll come back.
If we're gonna forget.
Maybe you're going to get sidetracked. You're going to forget it there. But if you will be next to it,
На русском языке есть?
I need somebody to do it, Bechor. I can give him the file, пожалуйста. Free, no charge.
Найдите людей, которые его на русском сделают.
А кто это делает?
Я могу найти, если хотите.
Все ищите.
Надо,
Мы
Заплатить.
заплатим, сколько в рот полезет.
нет проблем. Я спрошу.
No, it's a lot of time, Bechor. Это надо человеку перевести, потом другому все пройти, чтобы правильно перевели.
Пусть переведет, а там уже не важно.
Because I don't read Russian.
Окей, на Google. Можете вашу программу бросить вот эту на Google?
On Google,
Он
yeah.
сам переведет.
Правильно, но Google не,
Надо просто распечатать потом.
Google не делает точно. Это тоже много работали с Google.
После Google же легче исправлять.
Yeah. Вот это надо работу сделать. Yeah.
Подскажите ему переводчику, чтобы он на Google сделал и быстренько нам все организовал.
Я спрошу.
Сделай, why not? Митцва.
Очень многие люди хотят ваши уроки слушать на русском языке, чтобы приблизиться к Ашему, а вы это им не удовлетворяете.
Ой.
Они еще не удостоились его.
Как это не удостоились? Наоборот, они удостоились, они хотят, они требуют. Кровь, новую, свежую кровь.
Not everybody understands Russian. What can I do?
Да, people understand.
Bechor, when you make Yeshua, I do in Russian.
Да.
So this way we make some people happy with that also. So,
If it's in Russia, я могу читать. English быть сложно читать.
I agree. Пожалуйста, сделайте. I give it for free.
А
No
здесь
problem.
про чё?
Наша тема, которую мы учились. The third volume.
Да.
Вся тема.
Now we're finishing the fourth one.
Все, заберите одну книжку, сделайте search.
Надо это профессионалам, да.
Кайф,
Которого это уже делали.
Кайф умеете, попросим, уже не сделают.
Попросите.
טוב. בסדר, רבו ישי, כל הכבוד בכור and Yaakov for your big desire to do that. באמת, I'm saying. If you guys want, we'll pass it over and we'll make it happen. בכור, בלי נדר, tomorrow we're going to finish בלי נדר, the fourth volume. I left 3 questions over there, purposely. Tomorrow, everybody bring their wives, their children, everybody will make a big party over here. To make like Baomer, and also,
No music.
why no music, Bechor?
Хорошо.
For Rabbi Shimon, you are obligated.
Все, музыка можем.
Вот еще один пришел ко мне. Дополнительный родственник.
Bechor, for Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, it's no problem.
Абель, Азоин, Вешо, работа.
For Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai?
Да.
Yeah? Okay,
Обычно реагирует.
I'll check it. בלי נדר. ברוך אדוני לעולם, אומר ואומר.